See, when you wave it, you can see.
Okay.
I saw you, but I was like, okay, I'm going.
So, you've heard both sides of the argument now. You've heard enough information to form your own idea about what we're talking about here. You've heard that although cloning technology has improved, it's still highly unreliable. You still have to go through many, many, many tries to get anything to happen. Earlier in the argument, my opponent stated that I want to say it was like in 2000 and some, a South Korean scientist successfully took stem cells and used them from cloned human embryos. However, this was 1997. Thank you. However, he was supposed to receive a Nobel Prize for this. However, the Nobel Prize Committee found that he had forged his data and that he did not successfully clone embryos and take stem cells from them. To date, there have been no successful human clonings and embryos, or cloning of human embryos. As such, a technology, as I've said earlier, should not be used for the creation of human organs. We don't know how it works on us, and you've heard and you've seen that it causes mutations with everything that's cloned that survives long enough to be noticed. You've also heard that when women who donate eggs they face many difficulties, and that process itself has many problems that causes severe side effects. You've also heard us talk about how cloning is extremely, extremely costly. It would never be able to be used for regular people for the use of cloning organs for transplant because it simply costs too much. A regular person, I cannot walk in off the street and figure out how to get a cloned organ. I don't have $200,000 to start with. So I cannot get the $200,000 is just for the eggs. That's not for laboratory equipment, doctors, nurses, and all the surgeons that would have to go around and all the processes that would have to be gone through in order to get the clone, in order to get the organ to come to full term and be healthy enough to transplant into my body. Also, cloning kills embryos. Cloning kills humans that are not yet fully developed, that cannot defend themselves, that cannot say anything in their own protection. You and I were once embryos, just as we were once fetuses, infants, and adolescents. These are merely stages in the development of the enduring organism, the human being that we are. And this was said by Patrick Lee and Robert George, who are, one is a professor at UCLA, and the other one is a professor at UCLA. They're both psychology professors, and they wrote an online article against the cloning simply because of this point. So, you've heard our summation of these arguments, and you've heard most of their arguments and their rebuttals. I urge you to make your own decision on this, but know that cloning is not viable for human use.